And folks, it looks like this is the Switch section right here. What do we have here? Active Life. Ooh, Paper Mario could actually be good. Crash Bandicoot is also one that I haven't played so far. Folks, I'm here at Disc Replay in Illinois right now. It's the first state of 3 that we're going to today on our Switch hunting quest to answer the age-old question of who has the best Switch games. You guys may remember last episode we actually picked up Octopath Traveler to add to the collection. Oddworld honestly seems like a pretty good deal at 15. Oh man, I almost didn't even see this. This is a limited run Doom 64 for 25, and oh my gosh, G.I. Joe for $7. I feel like I never find Switch games for this cheap. This is kind of crazy. Folks, I just looked it up, and sure enough, Doom 64 for 25 usually goes for 35 to 40 on eBay, and the lowest copy of G.I. Joe available on Amazon is like 20 bucks, and this one's only 7. So it kind of goes without saying, I would love to add these 2 games to the collection, but if you guys are familiar with the channel, you know I'm trying to build a 250 game Nintendo Switch collection while spending no money out of pocket. So if I want to buy these 2 games, I have to go around to the rest of the store and find other underpriced games so that I can flip them and use only my expected profit as my Switch game budget. For example, I just spotted this game down here, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Stardust Accelerator. I know from experience Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff has done really well on Amazon for me in the past, so I looked it up on my app. And you can see on the app I'll be able to get 27 bucks for it after fees, and they only have it for 20 bucks. So because there's a $7 difference between what I'm paying and what I'll be able to get on Amazon, I have $7 in today's Switch budget, which is actually perfect to buy G.I. Joe. Now if I can just find 25 more for Doom 64, we will be set. Although between you and me, I'd love to find more because this is our first stop of like at least 6 today. You can see I'm still looking around in the DS section right now, and one of the big things that I look for is these games that are complete with their original cases, because I can get premium prices on Amazon for games that are in premium condition. I also always like to look up games like this Radiant Historia that I can't remember scanning before, especially if they have a somewhat higher price tag. But unfortunately I looked it up, and at a buy cost of $40, as is the case with most of the games I scanned, this one would not be profitable. Unfortunately, I'm not really seeing anything else that's profitable in this section, so let's go check out the PlayStation games. Ooh folks, this one, Toy Story 2, is one that I know I've sold for at least 40 in the past. Ah shoot, looks like the price has gone down quite a bit recently. Unfortunately, after scanning a good number more of these games like Ape Escape, Bugs Bunny, Creatures, they've got a great selection, but the prices have not been low enough that I can flip them for profit here. But, ooh folks, the PS4 section is coming in clutch. This game has gone up a ton recently. I'll be honest, the Amazon price here is a little bit inflated at $154 or $126 after fees, but you can see even on eBay it's going for 45 to 50 bucks. And here, look at this, 25. On this one, we'll go conservative and call it like a $12 profit, but that's actually not the only profitable game in this section. This one is slightly profitable, although it's only a little bit underpriced, so I'm leaving that. The other one is this Senran Kagura. Say what you will about the franchise. At $33, you can see that's gonna net us another 13 on Amazon, which between these 2 games puts us at exactly the 25 that we need to buy Doom 64. Needless to say, I'm stoked about that, but I'm also gonna take a look in the glass case over there to see if we can squeeze out a little bit more profit, because we literally have 2 more states of Switch hunting to do today. For example, folks, I haven't looked it up yet, but this Punch-Out at 18 seems super underpriced. Then in this case over here, we've got all kinds of crazy high dollar stuff. Holy cow, 2 $400 PlayStation games right there. I'm gonna scan as much of this stuff as I possibly can as quick as I can, then catch up with you guys. Folks, if you've been on any inventory buying sprees yourself recently, you know how much of a hassle it can be to ship everything out once it sells, especially if it's a bunch of stuff at once. Well, that's where this video's sponsor, ShipStation, comes into play. Folks, you guys know on this channel we are all about small businesses, but as a small business, it can be tough to stay competitive with larger competitors that offer free and fast shipping. With ShipStation, not only can you stay competitive, you can also save more time for yourself to focus on your business. When you use ShipStation, you can lower your shipping costs, tackle returns with ease, and keep more customers happy. It lets you automate shipping tasks, print shipping labels, and easily compare rates and delivery times to optimize every shipment. So if you've got a bin like this of inventory to ship out, you can rest easy knowing that the process will be as simple as possible. And with the best discounts around, you never have to worry about overpaying for shipping again. Keep growing your business all year long with ShipStation. Go to shipstation.com/PhoenixResale to sign up for a 60-day free trial. That's shipstation.com/PhoenixResale. Well, folks, we're coming out with a very successful haul from Illinois Disc Replay. I apologize in advance for the audio today. I didn't realize I'd be recording this video today, but it was too good of an opportunity to pass up, but I don't have my normal microphone. The other abnormal thing about today, as you may be able to see in frame, is I'm actually traveling with a co-pilot, Elsie. How's it going, Elsie?
I honestly hate traveling with you so much.
At the time of filming, we're on our way back from our folks' house in Illinois and Nebraska, so we've also got Pikachu, which is going to be a pillow in the basement that was a gift from my mom. Anyways, as Elsie is so helpfully modeling, the only other 3 things that I picked up in addition to the games that covered the cost of our first 2 Switch games are Frogger 2, Punch-Out, and this Game Boy SP case that was only 10 bucks. I thought that those were only going to be around $10 profit a piece, leaving us with 30 going into our next stop. But as it turns out, Disc Replay actually has a buy 5, get the 6 free promotion that I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot about. So Punch-Out here ended up being totally free, which since this was 18 bucks, bumps our expected profit up to $48 from the stop. Would you mind putting all those back for me, dog?
Would you mind not being so ugly?
So folks, the good news is we've now got $48 of Switch money to spend at our only Illinois pawn shop, Pawn King. But the bad news is I spent over an hour in that first stop, so if we want to get to Indiana and Kentucky today, we really have to book it. Do y'all have any Switch games?
No, they really bought us all out Christmas time. We only have 2.
Okay, well, I'll take a look at those. What are the cost on these?
You have to look them up. They're individually priced.
Okay, I was actually curious about those PSVR games, the PS4 ones. So folks, I don't know how much you could see or hear at that stop, but it honestly ended up going better than expected. So I saw they only had 2 Switch games on the shelf. Now they were 2 that I honestly don't have in the collection, Goosebumps the game and The Witcher Wild Hunt Complete. So I asked how much they were, and when she said that they had to look them up, I was like, oh dang it, they're gonna be like right at eBay levels. But she came back and told me $20 for both of them, which Goosebumps for 10 bucks, like that's a good deal. But 10 bucks for Witcher is incredible. Look at this, folks, look at this. $35 after fees. The lowest on Amazon is $47 for this $10 game right here. But folks, you may have noticed I also picked up this Farming Simulator 22, which was a total hunch. I asked her how much it was. She didn't even look it up and said $10. I just knew that I've been surprised in the past by how much these games have gone for, so I'm gonna look it up live right now and we'll see if it was a good decision or if I'm losing money. Oh yes, folks, my gut was right. $28 after fees for this game, and we only paid 10 freaking smackers.
And that's how I became rich.
So folks, we've still got $46 in our Switch budget heading into Indiana. And folks, this gets me so jazzed because this is literally what this entire Mission Switch series is all about. Isn't that right, Elsie?
I know you would flip me if you could list me on Amazon.
It really is true that opportunity is everywhere, folks. Whether you're trying to build a collection or pay off debt or go on an extra vacation, you literally can find stuff to flip and sell it online. Whatever you happen to be interested in, the opportunity is out there, and that's what we're going to show in not 1 but 3 states today. And speaking of states, folks, after another hour-long drive, we've just arrived at our first Indiana stop of the day, Half Price Books. Now, this is primarily a used bookstore, so oftentimes it doesn't have the best Switch selection, but we'll see if that's actually the case with this one, which I don't think I've ever been to. Gosh, people, look at this. A brand new touchscreen protector for the Nintendo DS. That's just so cool.
That genuinely is probably the least cool thing I've ever seen.
A big thing that I do look for at places like this is going to be the accessory section. Ooh, for example, this actually. Wow, $8 for what looks to be a completely new sealed Xbox 360 hard drive transfer cable. Brand new accessories like this can do great on Amazon, but let's scan it and see. Sure enough, there it is. Okay, definitely the same thing. Used condition is 10 bucks after fees, but look at that. New $26 and we're only paying 8. First score of Indiana. Let's go. I'm honestly feeling really good about that. And it looks like we actually do have a pretty decent sized video game section to work with. Not a ton in the form of cartridges or Switch games, honestly, that I'm seeing. I will definitely have to check all these amiibos because those tend to do well for me. But oh no, folks, are you seeing what I'm seeing? I don't even have to pick it up and I can tell you that Kirby game is not authentic. And oh no, an inauthentic authentic Earthbound as well for $350. That is terrible. And they honestly probably didn't even realize it when they took it in. I bet they paid over $100 for that game. But you can see just by the quality of the sticker label, and even the cartridge itself is a slightly different color. I'm not sure if that's gonna come up on camera. That is not an authentic Nintendo cartridge. That really is a shame to see. I'm gonna have to tell them about that when I check out. But on the bright side, folks, I did just look up this copy, which is complete, of EA Sports Fight Night Round 3 for $10, and it looks like I'll be able to get a little $4 profit on Amazon at least. So not too bad, I'll take that. And weirdly enough, this Quest 64 as well at 19 seems like it's going for a good bit more on Amazon. 38 honestly seems a little bit high. So we're just gonna estimate a $10 profit on that, which puts us at a total Switch budget of $78. Riff, aren't you proud of me? I'm actually keeping track now.
Oh yeah, no, really, thank you so much. I appreciate it. One of my least favorite things about editing your channel, besides the fact that I had to look at you all the time, my God, you're seriously a really ugly guy. Besides that, was adding up your numbers. You expected me to do the math for you. Caleb, you're the numbers guy. You're the Phoenix resale money guy. Thank you.
Another thing that I talk about all the time when hunting to flip on Amazon is I'm always looking for like sealed shovelware games. Ooh, potentially like this one right here, this DS game. Seal does look a little bit wonky on it. At $6 though, what is this? Silverlicious. Might not be the kind of thing that I'm really looking for. Let's see what Amazon has to say. Well, $13 after fees actually isn't bad, but unfortunately the other number I have to look at is up here, the sales rank. And unfortunately this rank is so high it means it never sells. So back to the shelf you go. Ooh, this is one in the PS3 section that can be worth about $25 that a lot of people overlook. Let's see. Oh, dang it. Really thought that would be a good one. And unfortunately, it looks like this half-price books is rocking a single Switch game right now, Nintendo Labo Toy-Con. Granted, it is only $10, but it's kind of worthless without the cardboard, and even if it did have the cardboard, I honestly wouldn't be that interested. So I'm gonna head out as soon as I check and see if there are any clearance DVD sets, because I often do really well with those as well. The last thing that I think I will actually pick up from the video game section is this super cool retro Game Boy case. It's only $8, and I saw on the tag it actually says that it comes with assorted game manuals, so I guess we'll be able to find out together what that actually means. All right, Riff, I'm gonna need some dramatic music here because it's time for the moment of truth. See, folks, this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I like to scan all the prices on here and look for, yeah, there's one, the white clearance stickers, because that means that they've been priced down. I like to keep these videos mostly video game focused, but the reality is if you're trying to build a collection or just a little more financial wiggle room in your life, it doesn't have to be with video games. It can be with literally anything that you're interested in, like DVD sets. Oh, there's another one right there. Unfortunately, I just scanned all the white sticker ones, and not just this case, but a couple other ones, and came up empty. All right, so we had $68 or so spent at that store. I'm excited to see what kind of manuals are actually in this case, because believe it or not, sometimes those can have some value. I did go ahead and tell the worker about the fake games. I didn't really get a sense for whether or not they'd pull them from the shelves, but you know, that's really all I can do about it. Hey there, doggy. How are you doing? Hey, would you mind taking care of this inventory for me? Dog? Dog, hello? You're not paying attention. I just realized I probably should mention Elsie actually prefers being in the trunk. I would keep her up in the front with me, but she always moves. All right, Riff, I'm gonna need some dramatic music here because it's time for the moment of truth. Okay. Oh wait. Okay, there's a second compartment. Oh dang, okay, there actually is a pretty thick stack in here. Switching up angles real quick. Okay, action replay, not much there. These things are totally worthless. Game Boy Advance manual, worthless, okay. All right, Mario Bros. Deluxe could have a little bit of value. Super common game though, oof. NHL is rough. So, oh geez, terrible tasting games. Oh, come on. Well, I guess we at least have one to look up. Now, as healthy as the Switch budget is, we still are at a whopping 0 Switch games for the state of Illinois, so hopefully this second stop will be able to redeem the state for us. Drink up, doggy. By the way, I forgot to mention, I also don't have a tripod on this trip, so that last shot was literally just a phone sitting on the windowsill like that. This video has just been completely wonk, hasn't it, Elsie?
Explain to me how that's different than any other video.
Can I just say, before we go into this second Indiana stop disc replay over here, that on the other side of the street, Culver's is secretly the biggest burger chain sleeper. I got roasted pretty hard in the comments for my last fast food hot take of hating Taco Bell, so you guys be the judge. I think Culver's is secretly pretty amazing. But to get back on the subject at hand, Indiana honestly has a ton of making up to do if they want to compete with Illinois, who had 4 solid underpriced Switch games. Let's see if they can make it happen. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, folks, it seems like this disc replay has a really good selection. And oh my gosh, folks, this Switch section is crazy. We've got Splatoon 3, Carnival Games, Street Fighter. Ooh, Unravel 2 for $15 seems like a great deal. Bladed Fury, we got Fire Emblem Warriors. But before we get too excited, I'm gonna go around to the rest of the store and see if we can build our budget up a little bit more. For example, folks, we've got our first contender here, Fight and Climax, which you can see is priced at $30, but we'll get $37 for after fees on Amazon. Not the hugest profit, but we'll take it. One weird thing I've been noticing on a lot of these games, actually at both locations, is that the barcode is actually punched out on a lot of these games, which makes it a little bit harder for me to scan, but honestly is more just like puzzling than anything. Like at first I thought that maybe someone at the other location, normally what this means is that it's a promo copy, so like maybe someone who worked at a game store had a big collection of promo games that the store had gotten and traded it into the other location is what I thought. But this location is literally hours away and it has a bunch as well. So I'm wondering if maybe like they're actually stamping them themselves at disc replays now. I honestly don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. And also, how do they have 4 copies of the same limited run, 5 copies of the same limited run game? This mystery is getting weirder and weirder. And another one right there. Has Disc Trader made a deal with the devil? I can't think of any more logical explanation. All I can say is if they did, I hope that it included a lot of cheap Switch games. Alright, I didn't have any luck with Xbox, but here in the GameCube section I feel like we'll find something. Holy cow, I did not realize Hide and Seek was a $50 game. That's crazy. Ooh, this game gave me a ton of trouble when I was doing a series just like Mission Switch, but for GameCube. This is one of the last games I found. 1080 Avalanche, that's about what it goes for. Oh, this is one of those weird ones, folks, that actually does pretty well on Amazon. Yep, would you look at that, folks? 27 after fees, and we're only paying 17. Looks like that brings our budget up to $95 too, which I'm honestly really happy with. Ooh, folks, would you look what I have spied in the accessories section. What did I tell you about new old stock accessories? And $20 on that really doesn't seem bad. Ah, dang, unfortunately, I'm not seeing any new listings on Amazon, and used is only 11 after fees, so I'll probably leave that one behind. But oh my gosh, people, I just spied something that I did not expect to find here. Not only did I not see that they have a mini Switch section in the glass case with a couple sealed games, but they have a factory sealed Smash Bros. Ultimate Steelbook and controller and game bundle. Holy cow, folks, I would love to own that game in the collection. It would be incredible, but finding an extra $150 worth of profit at this stop would, I don't think we're gonna be able to do it. We do still have PSP and Vita stuff to go and a ton of cartridge and handheld stuff over here. So don't get me wrong, I am going to do my best, but look what else I just spied in the case. A not just boxed, but sealed Super Smash Bros. 64. And that's not $650, folks. That is $6,500 for that bad boy. The unfortunate thing is most of these GBA games are honestly just like shovelware stuff. Not a whole lot of good first-party titles, which is most of what sells for me on Amazon. They did have this super sweet drill dozer though, but unfortunately, if you can see on the top, it looks like it's been maimed. And even in the rest of the cartridge section, I'm not seeing a ton that really piques my interest that's in good enough condition for me to really send in. And folks, I even just got done looking up everything in the Vita and PSP section, and it's looking like we're going to be stuck for today at our $95 budget, which, don't get me wrong, is pretty great for buying a few Switch games. But I do have a feeling the Smash Bros. Bundle will haunt my dreams forever. But you never know, it could happen in a future Mission Switch episode when we have a bit of a better budget. But folks, for the time being, I am turning my eye back over to the Nintendo Switch section because this is honestly a great selection. Remember, I'm really only looking for games that are complete with their original box. So a couple things that immediately catch my eye are, one, No Man's Sky. I've heard both really good and really bad things about this game. Maybe it had like a terrible release or something.
That's actually accurate. Yeah, it was released with really poor reception, and after some updates and a lot of changes, people really seem to be liking the game.
So this one would be a bit more of a wild card. Like I mentioned earlier, Unravel is one that I would also love to have because it's a co-op game that I could potentially play with my wife. Link's Awakening, what can you even say? It's iconic. I started playing it myself a while back, but honestly didn't get that far into it, so I'd love to give it another shot. Ooh, Luigi's Mansion is definitely in my top games that I want right now, although this one looks like it's actually the European version, which is a little bit of a turnoff. And last but not least, folks, we have Metroid Dread. Believe it or not, this is a franchise that I have never played before. And yeah, I know this is where the fake gamer comments will go flying. I get it. I don't know why, but outside of Smash Bros, I have just never played a Samus game. So these are our options right here, folks. We've got the old versus the new. I think what I'm gonna do is just buy 2 games because that's how many we've gotten at our stops so far. And I'd love to have a little bit of Switch money left over for Kentucky in case, on the off chance that we can't find anything good to flip there. The only question is which 2 to pick. Oh my gosh, folks, I just went out to check out and I can't believe I almost missed this. This is insane. I'll fill you guys in later. I can't talk about it now. Okay, so that was crazy. Those of you who are familiar with rare Switch variants may recognize the Disney Sum Sum Festival Polka Dot Purple Joy-Con. Now, this bad boy was priced just like all the other Joy-Con at $33. However, because the console that this belongs to is actually a special edition and a Japan exclusive special edition to boot, the only sold eBay listing that I found for a pair of these was $184. Now granted, that was for the set of this one and its partner, but still I think very conservatively this is a probably $70 Joy-Con all on its own, assuming that it works well. So after fees and everything, this on its own will be a solid $32 profit. But wait, there's more. Because when I picked up the Joy-Con, that actually put me up to a total of 5 items, pushing me over the boundary to get a 6th item for free. So while I chose No Man's Sky and Metroid Dread as my 2 Switch games, I also was able to go back and also pick up Unravel 2 completely for free. And after all 3 of these games, we still have a Switch budget of $53 to spend in Kentucky. I could not be more tickled right now. Although, if we're being honest right now, I'm probably still going to have to give the victory so far to Illinois because all those games were just ridiculously underpriced. Also, it is day number 11-12 of giving Chipotle free advertising until they sponsor me. For those of you who've been watching a long time, how many of these do you think I've actually done? I feel like at this point I'm probably up to like a couple dozen. Elsie said 2, but honestly, I'm not sure she can count higher than that. Alright, so folks, been driving for a couple hours to Kentucky now, gonna get to Louisville in about half an hour. Our ETA is 7:30. The only thing is the game store closes at 8, so we're gonna have to book it once we get in there. Well folks, at this point we are about a block away from the video game store, and as you can see, as it turns out, in downtown Louisville, it is pretty difficult to find parking at 7:30 at night. So I think ultimately we may have to call an audible here. Wow, this is going back like multiple blocks. And just skip straight to our last video game store of the day and hope that they have a finale of a selection. A lot of you guys might recognize our first and only Kentucky stop from my last Mission Switch video. Through the Decades Gaming, I decided to come back here, call a little bit of an audible, because we still have $53 in the Switch budget, and last time they had a great selection of both Switch and non-Switch games. So let's see if the same is true now. Looks like there's a big event going on or something. folks, apparently it's not actually a big TCG event. This is just a regular night over here. It's like the premier TCG location in the whole city for people to just meet up, which is kind of crazier. Now, as was the case last time, this place has a crazy selection of everything, including Switch games, but we're gonna start with the non-Switch stuff and work our way over there to try to get our budget a little bit higher and maybe splurge on a bit of a rarer title if we can find one. And folks, we have found here our first winner. Can you spot it in the N64 section? It is Mario Golf here for 30 bucks. Apparently we'll be able to take home a sweet 41 on Amazon, putting us up to 64. And folks, literally as I was just saying that, my eyes were wandering over to this other game, South Park Rally in the case for 25, which I know I've actually sold in the past for 50 or about 40 after fees. That puts us up to a sweet $79 Switch budget. And by the way, do you guys think I should make it a goal to get one of these bad boys in the game room as a series finale? Personally, I think that looked pretty killer in my basement. And folks, I'll be honest, every time I come to a place like this, I look at like the action figure section over here and the Funko Pop section over here, and literally all I can think about is how much opportunity is on this shelf. I guarantee if you scanned every one of these, there's probably hundreds of dollars of profit. I just don't have the time or the know-how to do it. What in the... Did you guys know that Neopets cards are worth 200 bucks a pack? That absolutely blows my mind. Oh my gosh, or that there was a Monster Rancher VHS? And it looks like that thing actually is still sealed. That's something I'm just gonna have to pick up. Not really for the challenge, but because I've literally never seen one like that. That kid looks so much like Ash Ketchum. I have 3 of them sealed. And folks, after some very quick research in the Amiibo section here, as it turns out, for some reason, Mario is now going for 30 bucks after fees on Amazon, which I guess kind of explains why this guy down here is already priced at 30. And Sheik, this brand new $50 Sheik Amiibo here, is going for 70. And that brings our grand calculated total to $129 Switch budget, which will be more than enough to pick out some lovely Switch games. However, I have to say I do have a little bit of a gripe to express to you guys. It's when a store like this has an inconsistent labeling system. It makes total sense to have the labels on the spines, but some of the games actually have the prices you can see on the outside, which makes it very difficult both as a buyer and as a reseller to make purchasing decisions. But that's neither here nor there. The real question is which of these lovely Switch games to add to the collection today. And I don't think I've mentioned so far, one constraint that I'm working with is not only do I like to buy complete games, so all of these loose ones would be out, but I also like to buy open games rather than sealed. So you can see there's a pretty solid stack of sealed games there, which just for price reasons I usually avoid, because in general you can get the opened ones cheaper. Now, as I say that, there are a couple things that are already catching my eye. The first thing is there are actually multiple limited run games in here, none of which I know anything about. The first one you can see right there, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon for 45 bucks. The second one at 95 is Divinity Original Sin 2 for 95 right there. Holy cow, those smudges are brutal in close-up. Then we have Tiny Metal Ultimate right there for 60. And finally, right in the middle there, Vitamin Connection, not Collection, but Connection for 32. Also at this point, I should probably say I've been making an exception to the sealed rule for limited run games because you just can't really find them unsealed, okay? And I have to say, at first when I was considering that Divinity Original Sin game, I was like, 95 bucks, I couldn't possibly pay that. But then I looked it up and realized it's actually underpriced. The other 2 non-limited run games that I'm really considering right now are 1, Dragon Quest Builders right there for $60. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, Crystalis there for 18. Dragon Quest Builders is one that I was actually thinking very hard about getting last time I was here, but it ended up losing out to Octopath Traveler. Crystalis, on the other hand, I could not tell you the first thing about. I have a very hazy positive impression of it based on things that I've heard from other people. However, those 3 limited run games I've heard absolutely nothing about. So I'm stuck again pondering the classic quandary. Do I prioritize rarity or reputation? But luckily today, with a $129 Switch budget, I have a feeling I might not have to choose. Now, before we shelve these bad boys, I will confess to you guys, I may have spotted a couple more profitable games on the way out. A sealed Hulk Hogan's main event and Harry Potter Deathly Hallows, which added like 30 or 40 bucks to our budget, which ended up being just enough for what I wanted to do. Folks, it looks like today we were able to come away with both the rare and the reputable. If you want to watch another Mission Switch video, I'm going to link the next one in the series right up here once it's out. And if it's not out yet, check out this one down here where I went to the midnight release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and got it with no money. And until next time, we will catch you guys on the flip.